Hey, this is Josh Chapman from Sonic Electronics. We're coming to you live from the 2013 NAMM show. We're here at the Presonus booth, and we are checking out just a big dog of a mixer. We were looking at the 32-channel StudioLive, and we're all very excited about this. John, can you tell us a little bit about this? Now, I'm seeing the fat channel here. I'm seeing the long throw faders, but there's so much more stuff here that's new, and I'd just like you to fill us in on it.
Not a problem. Let's start it off by prefacing, we already had a great batch of mixers. We took everything that was great about the boards that we have, the StudioLive 24.4.2, the 16.4.2, and the 16.02. We kept everything that was good. So if you look on this, you see the same fat channel we have over there on the StudioLive 24. You got four full parametric EQs in here. You got high passes, you got a gate section, compressor section, adjustable limiter. Kept everything on the old boards that worked and was great. What we did is we listened to the people out there in the real world, the guys who use these day in, day out there in the trenches, really putting these things through their paces. And we said, okay, they have some complaints about how things are working, so let's look at that. Okay, first thing they added is that, okay, I've got 7 guys in my band and I don't have enough aux mixes to be able to put everybody on in-ears in stereo. So it was like, oh hey, let's just throw in 4 more auxes. So now we have a full 14 aux sends able to be stereo linked so that you can run 7 guys at the same time with an in-ear mix, which is bigger than your average band. Another thing we did is a lot of people wanted a little bit more capability to be able to have more effects. The originals came with 2 effects buses. We're like, yeah, we can double that. Let's throw 4 in there, no big deal. Some other neat stuff that they did here. If you ever look on the old boards, you see right here, it says Firewire. These no longer say Firewire. These now say D for digital. You are no longer chained to a Firewire solution only with the StudioLives. These are now a card-based solution. These will ship initially with Firewire 800, and we're moving down to having other card solutions, possibly Dante, most likely Thunderbolt. Lots and lots of things will ship after we get these things ready to rock and roll.
So your interfacing is a modular system. You
Yes.
can upgrade the board, you can downgrade the board. It's a much more versatile installation piece in the studio or in a venue.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Exactly, and it answers the question that a lot of our folks are having, because Firewire is disappearing, especially on laptops and things. The MacBook Pro no longer has a Firewire port. You had to adapt Thunderbolt. So we decided, okay, well, let's make sure that we're ready to rock and roll just in case it happens down the road. So now we got a card on here. We just change out the card to whatever the latest and greatest is going to be. So now you've got a board that's going to last you a whole lot longer. You don't have to worry about dying formats or anything along those lines getting in the way of everything. We're initially shipping them with Firewire 800 because this is a huge amount of I/O on this thing. These are 34 by 48. It sends 34, brings back in 48 channels, all in one mixer. Some other neat new stuff that we did, we had some people who didn't like that you had to be connected to a computer to be able to control your mixer. So now, it's like, hey, we'll just throw some Wi-Fi on this thing. Ships with a Wi-Fi dongle of its own. We'll have the iPad app, control it from the iPad app. You don't have to be connected to anything else unless you really want to. So, some other neat new stuff that we did on this, we changed how our fader locates work. Initially, the fader locate was you hit a button and you had all of these things up in here and the fat channel go a little bit crazy, and the idea was to get it down to one little line. So, say these were where they would actually be. We don't worry about those over here. They're just a drummer. He's loud enough.
Yeah.
So this is where this would actually cause these to all be in one line. So what happened here is now we take it back out of fader locate mode, and it took a while to make that happen. What they did with the new version, take these back down to where they were. Now you hit locate, and say this fader right here, single line up here is going to line up at somewhere around -5 dB. As we bring this up to -5 dB, guess what happens when we go past -5 dB? Now that fader is no longer in locate mode, and we own it. So there's no more question about whether you got it close. There's no more the level jumps just a tiny little bit. As soon as you get to -5, it's yours, and you can actually control it. The beauty of it is all the rest of these are still in locate, waiting for you to do what you got to do. Some other neat stuff that they added on here, and this was through some of the feedback that we got from theater and church groups. They added mute groups onto this one. You You have an all-off, an all-off and an all-on button, and then you have 6 different mute groups. So say, for example, you've got your choirs over on one set of mics, but you don't want their mics all live while the Reverend's doing his thing. So let's put them on one mute real quick. Everybody's happy, pop them right back out when you're done. Some other stuff, we added quick mix scenes because it takes a long time to find some of the stuff that you're looking for in here, especially if you get 90 scenes in this thing. So do what you got to do over here with that. Some other neat new stuff that they added. What else? I know there's one more. Oh yes, the AV capability. So you have a guy comes in with a guitar.
Yeah.
And then he comes in with another guitar. One's acoustic, one's electric. What do? You give him 2 channels, right?
Yeah.
Not on the StudioLive 32, baby. We've set up one guitar, whichever one he's going to use, set up his entire fat channel. Then hit the AV button, plug in his other guitar, set it up too. So now he's plugging into the same thing, you're saving I/O. There's all different kinds of ways you can use this. You can use it to save money from mics and things of that nature. Say you've got schools and things where you got the principal hands a mic down to a 6-year-old girl. 2 completely different voices. Set up the principal on one scene, hit the AV button, now the little girl's got her setting too. So you're not sitting there fighting, trying to do your thing real fast, real quick. That is brilliant in itself. Other than that, it looks really, really sexy, but not as sexy as me.
Hey, John, we really appreciate you breaking this down for us. For Sonic Electronics, I'm Josh Chapman. Thanks for tuning in to Sonic TV.